Satanism has always been a potent theme in horror, with the fear of witches and demons being as old as the religion that spawned it. But how have these creatures evolved in modern times? Are they heroes or villains, symbolic or real? We take a look at the current crop of occult horror and see how the witch and the demon still have their claws firmly hooked into our imaginations.
Witches have really changed drastically. I think it's kind of gotten a little bit more nihilistic, a little bit more realistic and literal. The witch has become kind of a feminist, not a feminist icon, but a feminist symbol.
It's kind of neat. We're kind of going back into creepy witches again.
Yeah, witches are more well-rounded now. I think they used to be about like fear of sexuality and stuff, and now that we kind of have this whole movement of like strong female characters.
The demons evolved on screen in the sense that, you know, there's not horns. It's someone that can seamlessly go in and out of society.
It's not something that you can just look at somebody and say, oh, that's a terrible person. Evil and horror is not always clearly marked with hooves and horns and things like that.
The theme of witches and witchcraft, to me, are synonymous with truth and point of view, more so than the magical space that witches inhabit. This was more about the demonization of ideas and people.
There's something evil locked behind that door.
Who else have you told about this?
See, I don't think I had to tell anyone.
I Trap the Devil is about a husband and a wife, and they go to visit the husband's estranged brother. They haven't seen each other for a few years, and when they get there, he's being a little bit more than quirky. His house is out of sorts, and eventually he reveals that he has kidnapped a man and is holding them hostage in the basement. He believes that person is the human personification of the devil himself.
Plot of the Wretched is about a teenage boy named Ben who's going to stay with his dad for the summer. And he realizes something weird's going on next door. And he starts taking an interest in the woman next door. And she's been taken over by a witch, and she's stealing children, making them disappear.
We just got really excited about the idea of making a witch movie where it's actually a creature in the woods and steals children.
Done. On to the next address.
How many more stops did you say?
Start driving.
Sure, the thing is...
Now!
So the plot of Driven, there is a rideshare driver going through her nightly routine. She picks up a mysterious and abrasive passenger who seems to be up to some very suspicious doings.
It's a comedy, horror. When you get done with it, no matter which of those things you're drawn to the most, is this that you enjoyed the ride.
Okay. Did I do that? I'm so sorry.
Derek, look out!
Witches in the Woods, which is set in modern-day New England. A group of University of Massachusetts students that are taking a weekend getaway in the wilderness and happen to get stranded. And a figurative and then literal witch hunt ensues. When you look back at the origins of, the witch trials, this idea of truth and perspective and whether or not these things were actually occurring and this fear of the unknown, and especially in today's world, is very prevalent.
I do think it's all tied into like patriarchy, and what we're experiencing now is women aren't normally believed, and especially like smart women. I mean, I would probably have been burned at the stake if I were around, back in the Salem days.